Mayor Dan Pope of the city of Lubbock, and it's a special day as we gather today for an important date in U.S. history. Today, April 11th, marks the 50th anniversary of President Lyndon Johnson signing the Fair Housing Act into law. I want to thank the Lubbock Apartment Association, the Lubbock Association of Realtors, the West Texas Home Builders, for joining us today for this historic event. We're also joined today by members of the City of Lubbock's Community Development Department, the Lubbock Housing Authority, and the Community Housing Resource Board, and especially by Ms. Maggie Trejo, who's here today, who these all help with affordable housing and rental assistance. We also have a number of other people in the council chambers today, and we want to thank you for making a time out of your schedule to join us for this occasion. 1968 was a pivotal year in the United States, and we faced many challenges. We just 10 days ago observed the 50th anniversary of the tragic death of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So I lived through the 68. I don't remember it very well. I know I look older than I am, so I'll take that. But the signing of the Fair Housing Act prohibited discrimination concerning the sale, rental, and financing of housing based on race, religion, national origin, or sex. The Fair Housing Act was intended as a follow-up to the Civil Rights Act of 1964, this, if I'd read further in my script, it would mention that Dr. King had been killed just a week prior to this. The legislation came in part because of Dr. King's efforts and many others, and the Fair Housing Act stands as one of the final great legislative achievements of the Civil Rights era. 20 years later, Congress amended the Fair Housing Amendments Act to also prohibit discrimination in housing based on disability or one's family status, which meant that you can't discriminate because for instance, a pregnant woman or children under 18-year-olds under the age of 18 are present in a home. Things that we take for granted today, and it's amazing the progress that we've made. Today, there are a number of government agencies as well as nonprofit organizations that help advocate for fair housing. I think it speaks loudly that the Lubbock Apartment Association, the Lubbock Association of Realtors, and the West Texas Home Builders Association have joined together to commemorate this anniversary. In fact, it was at their encouragement that we're doing this today. So that's something that I think is very much worth mentioning. All three of these entities are very important to fulfilling our housing needs in Lubbock. Their public support of the Fair Housing Act today speaks highly of their interest in providing equal housing opportunities to all Lubbock residents. This public support of the Fair Housing Act also speaks highly of the many individuals and employees and companies who are associated with these groups, and I'm thankful for all of them. Support for the common good and for ensuring equal opportunity begins with leadership, and the individuals that are behind me and the organizations they represent are leaders in our community, and they've led for many years. Housing is often the biggest investment we will make in our home, and it's the fulfillment often of the American dream. As some of you know that have heard me drone on before, I like to say that the American dream is alive and well in Lubbock, Texas, and I really believe that. So we have a special proclamation, if you would allow me to read this morning. It says a special recognition from the city of Lubbock, whereas the year 2018 marks the 50th anniversary of the passage of the Federal Fair Housing Act, Title VIII of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, as amended, and whereas the Federal Fair Housing Act guarantees that housing throughout the United States should be made available to all citizens without regard to race, color, religion, gender, familial status, disability, or national origin. And whereas the Fair Housing Act also guarantees that housing should be made available to all citizens without regard to marital status, sources of income, sexual orientation, including gender identity, honorably discharged military or veterans or military status, and survivors of domestic violence. And whereas equality of opportunity for all is a fundamental policy of this nation, state, and city, and barriers which diminish the rights and limit the options of any citizen will ultimately diminish the rights of all citizens. And whereas it is appropriate to express our support of the Federal Fair Housing Act, for it is only with the cooperation, commitment, and support from all the residents of Lubbock, Texas, that barriers to fair housing opportunities can be removed from our city. Now, therefore, we, the mayor, and the City Council of the great city of Lubbock do proclaim April as Fair Housing Month and celebrate today as the 50th anniversary of the passage of this act in Lubbock, Texas, and encourage all citizens to support and endorse fair housing, reaffirm their commitment to fair housing for all, and to wholeheartedly recognize these rights and responsibilities throughout the day, this month, and always. Dated this 11th day of April 2018, signed by the mayor and members of the Lubbock City Council. So I will give it a shot. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks. I would like to invite Jackie Howard from the Lubbock Association of Realtors to come forward and make a few comments. Mr. Howard?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. I am Jackie Howard from the Lubbock Association of Realtors. And on behalf of all the Lubbock Realtors, the Lubbock Apartment Association, and the West Texas Home Builders, we appreciate this day. We thank you for this proclamation in the city of Lubbock. And Mayor, it's great to be in Lubbock. Thank you.